Dhruva. Scene 1. The palace of the junior queen Suruchi. King Uttanapada is seated on a chair. His second son Uttama, a 5-year-old boy, is on his lap. Suruchi is weaving a flower garland standing near a small table. Uttanapada, embracing his son with great tenderness, "Where have you been since morning, my son? I looked everywhere but could not find you. Why did you not give me the first kiss in the morning?" Uttama kissing him on both cheeks. "Papa, when I got up from bed, I saw a bird on the tree sitting like this, crouches in imitation. I ran out to catch it." Uttanapada holding the boy in his arms. "Really? Did you catch it?" Uttama shaking his head. "No, Papa, I just went slowly like this," showing how he walked on tiptoe without making any sound, but it flew away. Suruchi smiling. "How could you expect to catch the bird? When you went out, you were shouting and clapping your hands. The bird heard you coming and flew away." Uttama. "Mother, tomorrow I will go chup chap and catch the bird." Both the father and the mother laugh. Dhruva comes running. "Father, father, see what I have brought for you." He is of the same age as Uttama. He has 2 lotuses in his hand. He approaches his father, gives the flowers to him, and tries to sit on his lap along with Uttama. Suruchi, face turning red, she drops the garland on the table and rushes to Dhruva and grabbing his hand drags him roughly away from Uttanapada. "You silly boy, who asked you to come here? How dare you sit beside my son?" Dhruva looking hurt. "Mother, I only want to sit on father's lap." Suruchi mimicking him. "I want to sit on father's lap. The great man has come. Who are you to sit on his lap? Get away from here." Dhruva with tears in his eyes. "Mother, Uttama is sitting on father's lap. Why can't I? He is my father also." Suruchi shouting at him in anger. "Yes, yes, he is your father, but who's your mother? Uttama is my son. Whose son are you? Had you been lucky enough, you would have been born to me instead of to Suniti. Only my son can sit on his father's lap. Go and do tapas in the forest and be born as my son in your next life. Then you can sit on your father's lap. Go away." She pushes him towards the door. Dhruva, shedding tears, looks at his father hopefully. Uttanapada remains indifferent. Disappointed, Dhruva leaves the palace. Curtain comes down. Scene 2. Senior Queen Suniti's palace. Suniti is in front of the deity doing puja and singing a bhajan in a low voice. Dhruva enters weeping loudly. "Ma, Ma." Suniti stops the bhajan and hurriedly gets up. She embraces Dhruva and wipes his tears. "My son, why are you weeping? Did you fall? Has anyone said anything to you? Did you quarrel with anyone?" Dhruva, weeping as if his heart would break, talks amidst sobs. "Mother, mother." Suniti anxiously. "Yes, darling, tell me, don't be afraid. No one will hurt you. Where did you go? With whom were you talking?" Dhruva still sobbing. "Mother, I took 2 flowers for father. Father was sitting. Uttama was on his lap. I went to father and gave him the flowers. I got onto father's lap. Then Ma weeps uncontrollably." Suniti biting her lip. "What happened then, beta?" She kisses him affectionately. Dhruva weeping loudly at the memory. "She caught me by my hand and dragged me down. She pushed me near the door. She said that I should go to the forest and do tapas to be born in her womb. She said I am not lucky. That is why I am your son." "Why, mother?" Suniti struggling in vain to hold back her tears. She embraces her son sadly. "Yes, my son, you are unfortunate. Otherwise, you would not be born to this miserable woman. My poor boy, what can I do? Your father does not love me. He loves Suruchi. That is why she is so proud." She weeps forlornly, clasping Dhruva tightly to her heart. Dhruva wipes her tears. "No, mother, don't cry. I will go to the forest and do tapas. I will ask God that Father may love you and take me on his lap. Suniti beside herself with grief. My dear, as long as I alone was neglected and insulted, I could bear it. How can I see you being insulted on my account? Beta, why were you not born to her like Uttama? Dhruva, embracing her, don't cry, mother, I love you. I would like to be Suruchi's son. She is hard hearted. I will go to the forest. Tell me, mother, where is the forest? Who is God? Where can I see him? Suniti, once more clasping the boy to her heart. Alas, my son, what misfortune has come to you at this tender age that you think of the forest? Wipes her tears. Yes, perhaps that is the best thing to do. God will be your guide. Yes, son, go to the forest and sincerely pray to the Lord. He alone can remove your distress. Both of them get up. Suniti goes in and brings a cloth made of the bark of trees. Suniti, kneeling in front of Dhruva and removing his ornaments one by one. Beta, when you do tapas, you should not wear these ornaments and silk robes. You must wear these rough clothes. She ties the bark cloth round his waist like a loin cloth. Dhruva, where is the forest, mother? Suniti, wait, I will show you. She goes in and brings a deer skin, a lota, and a stick. Take these with you, my son. When you go to the forest, select a place very near the river so that you can have water to drink. Sit under a shady tree upon the deer skin and think of the Lord. Come here, son. She takes him near the deity whom she was worshipping. This is the Lord Narayana. He has the lotus, conch, mace, and discus in his four hands. He wears yellow clothes and a Vaijayanti mala around his neck. The Kaustubha jewel on his chest. Have you carefully noticed all of them? Dhruva, carefully observing all the features. Yes, mother, should I think of the Lord in this way? Suniti, yes. First sit upon the deer skin like this. See, she shows the erect posture. Then close your eyes and think of the Lord. If he doesn't come, then stand like this and think of him again. If he fails to come, even then, stand on your toe like this and meditate. He will surely give darshan to you one day. As she talks, she shows the postures. Dhruva, I understand, mother. Now show me the way to the forest. I will go there. Suniti comes to the door along with him and points. There, that is the path leading to the forest. Next to the forest is the river. Stay near the river. When you feel afraid, pray to the Lord and he will help you. Go, my son. She embraces him and bids him farewell with the tears in her eyes. Dhruva, I will come back soon, mother. He takes up the skin, lota, and stick and goes out. Suniti, sobbing uncontrollably. Dear God, protect and guide my innocent son. She kneels before the deity and prostrates. Curtain comes down. Scene 3. Dhruva is walking on the road all alone, carrying the articles his mother has given him. He is almost by the edge of the forest. Narada enters from the opposite direction, playing on his tampura and singing a bhajan to Narayana. Narada stopping in front of Dhruva. Who are you, my boy? Where are you going all alone? What are those articles in your hand? Dhruva prostrating to the sage. I am the son of King Uttanapada, venerable sir. Narada feigning surprise. Really? If you are a prince, why are you in this dress? Dhruva, sir, I am going to the forest to do tapas. Narada smiling. Tapas? A nice thing to do for a youngster like you. Are you running away from school? Is your mother angry with you? Does she know where you are going? Dhruva, yes, sir. She herself told me to go for tapas. My father does not love me. I shall ask Lord Narayana to make him love my mother and me. Narada, my child, you are too young to go to the forest and do tapas. I shall come with you and tell your father to love you well. He will listen to me. Dhruva, no, sir. I shall not return without seeing the Lord and getting his blessings. I must meet him. Narada, what you want is only love, isn't it? Come with me to my ashram. There are many people there. They will love you and look after you well. Dhruva, no, sir, I want my father to love me. What is the use of others loving me? I will not go without meeting the Lord. Narada, do you know how many fierce animals there are in the forest? If they come rushing at you, where will you hide? Who will look after you? Listen to me, my child, and go back to your parents. Dhruva, my mother told me, sir, that God will protect me when I am afraid. I shall pray to Him. I shall not return without meeting the Lord. Narada smiles approvingly. Shabash, beta, you are quite determined. You will certainly have darshan of the Lord. Come here, I will give you a mantra. Repeat it after me. Dhruva approaches him and stands. Narada bends down and gives the mantra thrice, making Dhruva repeat it. Say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dhruva repeats after him. Now, my son, go ahead and do your tapas. Don't be afraid. Dhruva prostrates to the sage and goes towards the forest. Curtain comes down. Scene 4. In the forest, Dhruva is sitting on the deerskin under a tree. He is erect in Padmasana with eyes closed. Dhruva loudly chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. While chanting, he suddenly opens his eyes. Ah, my lord, at last you have come. He looks around and finds it was his delusion. Oh, once again I am deceived. I thought you have come and called me. My mistake again. No, I shall not open my eyes at any cost. Curtain falls and rises immediately. Dhruva standing now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He stops and listens with closed eyes, then opens them with a smile. Ah, this time you have surely come. He looks around and is disappointed. He again closes his eyes and resumes his chanting. Curtain falls and rises once more. Dhruva standing on his right toe. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Suddenly, Lord Narayana appears in front of Dhruva with four hands, etc. Dhruva continues his meditation with closed eyes. Narayana, Dhruva, I am happy with your tapas and have come to give you your boons. Open your eyes and see me. Dhruva stops chanting, but he still stands in the same position without opening his eyes. Narayana once again, Dhruva, I am pleased with your tapas and have come to give you your boons. Your tapas is over. Open your eyes and look at me. Dhruva still remaining as he is with eyes closed. Lord, how can I be sure that you have really come and that it is not a delusion this time? Many times I thought that you came and called me. When I opened my eyes, I found no one there. This time also I may be deceived. If you have really come, show yourself inside me. Then I shall open my eyes. Narayana laughs. All right, see me inside your mind. Lifts his hand as if to bless. Dhruva opens his eyes in great joy. Lord, you have really come. You are exactly like the law shown by my mother. How can I speak to you, Lord? I don't know anything. Narayana stretches out his hand and touches Dhruva with his conch. Speak, Dhruva. Dhruva, getting sudden enlightenment, speaks eloquently. Ah, my kindly Lord, the God of my heart, by thy grace indeed I find my voice. O Lord of the disk, lotus, and the conch, the Lord with the fierce mace in the hand, thou effulgent, thou resplendent, thou art the self, thou the supreme, thou art full. Thou indeed the world, thou verily the beginning and end, thou without beginning and end, thou within and thou all pervading, thou that art farthest, thou that art nearest, smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest. Thou standest bearing the whole world in thee. Brahma with four heads and Shesha with 1,000 tongues are unable to describe thee. Who am I to attempt? Blessed am I, blessed indeed, blessed again and again am I. Narayana. Dhruva, I am very pleased with you. Go back to your father. Now you will be loved not only by your father, but by your stepmother and brother too. Live long, rule the kingdom long. When you complete your earthly life, you will stand in yonder sky as the Dhruva Nakshatra and will illumine the path of thousands. The Lord blesses Dhruva as he prostrates before him. Curtain falls. The end.